I had a great weekend. Started out with a black tie dinner with Teresa, Kyle, and Tiffany at the I Survived Real Estate 2009 event put on by the Norris Group. It was a benefit for the Susan G. Komen for the Cure Foundation, which supports medical research into a cure for breast cancer as well as supporting those fighting a personal battle against it. We all like happy and healthy women, and we all like breasts, so that's a win-win in my book. It was a great event. So hats off to Aaron Norris and to all of the other people who helped put the event on. There were several speakers from different aspects of real estate world, and they all had different views of the industry and different ideas that they wanted to convey. They were all big hitters in their fields, but in general terms, we had a realtor, a mortgage broker, an appraiser, an economist, a builder, an auctioneer, and a foreclosure specialist. We heard a lot of facts and figures, we got a few political views, and the longer the discussion went on, we had a few heated words from the stage. The heated words were among panelists primarily came from Christopher Thornburg, the economist of the group, and my favorite. When he responded to Pat Combs, she's the president of the National Association of Realtors. She was talking about fiscal responsibility and about ensuring that the price of a house properly reflects its true value, and that's when Thornburg interjected. You could see he was just bubbling over like he had to get his hand on a microphone. He stated the fact that prices had gotten out of control in 2006 and had tripled over the course of 3 years, and that the National Association of Realtors had supported all of the price increases, and had even had their internal economists publish reports supporting the ridiculously high bubble prices that came directly before the crash. Combs was not prepared to get called onto the carpet in such a fashion, and her response that they had legit reports that supported those high prices was lame at best and insulting to the intelligence at worst. Realtors aren't bad people, but they have a direct monetary incentive for real estate prices to be high, and so when they climb, you can bet the realtors are going to support it. And so it's just a question of incentives, okay? It was good, though, that there were different voices on the stage that had different viewpoints from the different, fields within the real estate world. So it was good. Now, however, the contradiction of ideas wasn't just between people. I was often taken aback during some of the presentations by the presence of internal inconsistencies, or, at the very least, complicated situations that appeared to be contradictory. Now, I'm incredibly new to this whole industry, and these people have obviously been doing it for a very long time, so it's hard for me to stand up and say you're wrong. But some of this stuff just doesn't make sense to me, so my logical puzzle-solving mind is looking for the missing piece to make it all work out, and I fear that missing piece just doesn't exist. The person with whom I had the greatest disagreement was Tommy Williams, a former president of the National Auctioneers Association. Now, in your life, you have never met someone who has more vigorously supported a pure free market than Mr. Williams. I'm going to talk more about free markets and such in a future video, but I want to hit a couple of points that stuck with me from his presentation. He started off talking about the scary evils of government stifling business and used China as an example, and then contrasted it with the beauty and bright lights of a completely unregulated and unhindered free market that he wants in the United States. Now, my biggest problem with this is, dude, have you seen China? If there is any economy in the world that you need to be afraid of, it's China, okay? For 26 of the last 28 years, China has had a GDP growth between 7 and 14%. Okay, those are phenomenal numbers. And the 2 years that only showed a 3 to 4% increase per year was because the Chinese government actually throttled growth intentionally because it was worried that they were growing too fast and they wanted to avoid a crash. So using China as an example of bad economics is just simply not based in reality. Okay? I'm not saying that we should be like China. Okay? I'm just saying that painting them as like the big, bad, dark, evil future for our economy is propaganda and not fact. Okay? The other contradiction that is still with me, and I'm still trying to figure out, is the reliance on the invisible hand of the market when it comes to housing prices. I know I sound like an anti-capitalist, but I'm not. I really am a big supporter of it. Now, Bruce Norris is the founder of the Norris Group, a wildly successful real estate investment firm in California. And he seemed to be very practical, feet on the ground type of guy when he was speaking about real estate investing, which makes sense. Now, he put forth a real problem that his firm encountered recently, and was looking for input from the panel and suggestions on how they could possibly fix this in the overall market. Now, the situation went like this. He bought a house supposedly valued at around $105,000, and he bought it for $50,000. Now, then he spent $35,000 on improvements to the house, then put it back on the market. And he received 6 offers, all around $120,000. But the bank's appraiser said that the house was only worth $87,000, so the deal really wasn't worth pursuing because the numbers wouldn't work out. So his stated problem was that the appraiser was shorting him on the value of the house, because according to free market standards, that house was worth $120,000. I listened to him, and again, a lot of this makes sense, and my first thought is, yeah, that's no good. The house is obviously worth $120,000 because there are at least 6 different people willing to pay for it. But then I think, well, that's not inherently true, is it? Because in 2006, there were plenty of people making ridiculously high offers on houses, and those houses weren't really worth that much, as we saw subsequently in the crash. So, on one hand, we're all in agreement that the market was completely out of control 3 years ago, but on the other hand, we're arguing in favor of letting the market set our prices now. Now, I know that Bruce Norris and these other experts are light years beyond me when it comes to experience in the market and knowledge of the way it works, but it just feels to me like we're ignoring the data even after seeing the boom and bust cycles firsthand. You know, after the fact, we blame, well, the market was out of control when the prices were ridiculous, and then when the prices aren't high enough, to make us happy, we say, oh, well, that people are interfering with the market. So, meh. There's something missing, and I need to figure it out, because it doesn't make sense to me. Well, regardless of all that, it was a wonderful evening, and I absolutely enjoyed listening to all of the speakers, even the ones with whom I did not share political views. But a special thanks should go out to Tiffany and Kyle, both of whom worked to raise money for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and to support medical research to cure breast cancer. So you guys are awesome. Thank you.